that ain't it. They date him because he was a Kardashian baby daddy, and they know that it's instant fame, period.
Well, let's move on to, again, really unsurprising news. Khloe and Tristan third trimester Thompson. She wasn't even pregnant this time. Now let's start with a source close to Khloe confirmed to us that Tristan and Khloe have broken up. They've gone their separate ways several weeks ago and will continue to remain co-parents. And the source adds there is no drama. Well, that is pretty ironic because they had lunch together on Father's Day. And then a day after that, Tristan was spotted at a famous bodyguard's birthday party, going into a bedroom with 3 different women, one an aspiring singer, the other 2, I'm sure something/models, and then coming out of the room looking, quote, disheveled, sources told the Daily Mail. There's photos of him at the party, and apparently he had a 4G, and it just seems a little bit sketchy timing that then Khloe said that they broke up the next day and that it happened several weeks ago. I mean, Khloe stan Sarah Huron, what do you take from all of this?
Well, I mean, as always, trying to root for Khloe, was devastated when I heard that these two were back together last summer when they were quarantining together amid the coronavirus pandemic. But then I will say, as I was watching the final season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I found myself very upset with myself for liking Tristan. He was super likable. He turned on the charm. Obviously, in the back of my mind, I was like, I can't fall for this, and Khloe shouldn't either, but I got it for a second. And it makes sense because it was the coronavirus pandemic. There was nowhere else to be. There wasn't even basketball for him to be playing. There was nothing for him to do but be a halfway decent human. So the bar was low. So is this a shock? Of course not. Is it still upsetting? Yes, because Khloe's thing is being the forgiving one, the nice one, and she gets taken advantage of, and it's not fair, and we need to find Khloe a man. Then you had Tana Mojo, YouTube star, out here tweeting about Tristan showing up to her birthday party, and at first Khloe was liking tweets implying like, oh, Tana's thirsty, but then you hear all these other allegations, which by the way have not been confirmed by us, or I think there's sources close to Tristan just saying he was at the party but nothing happened. It's all speculative, but at the same time, where there's smoke, there's usually fire, especially when it comes to not only NBA players, but Tristan Thompson.
Gwen Flamberg, what do you read into all of this? A mess.
I mean, it's a total mess, but here's the thing, you guys. I was never buying that they were together, kind of like ever. I mean, yeah, during the pandemic, he spent time with the family, with the baby, which he absolutely should. And I'm sure that was really lovely. But I'm not buying that, when Khloe's hanging on him, they're happily ever after. It just doesn't add up. Where there is smoke, there is salmon.
Yes, there is. And Sarah, I'm 100% on board with you that Tristan Thompson is the most likable, charming, charismatic guy in the world. I can see how he could pull this over on Khloe and these 3 random girls at the party. Well, let's go to some YouTube comments because we had a lot of comments about this. Mindy Stein says, quote, he doesn't actually want Khloe. It's a sick game of his that he plays when he's bored.
Oh, true.
Harsh and definitely true, Mindy. And DT, I think, is trying to, get some brownie points with Sarah when she says, at this point, Lamar is a better man than Tristan.
Okay, I mean, that's comparing to both not great marriages. I mean, Lamar had a substance abuse problem that did affect his decision-making, but he also cheated on Khloe more than we could ever even know. But I mean, wow, I don't know. That's a hot take. I could never pick, I don't think. But there is a child involved with Tristan.
There is, and the cutest child in the world. And then we had maybe my favorite comment of the day. We have a young lady who said she tried crepe cake for the first time and it was delicious. I agree with you. Crepe cakes are underrated and delicious. Try Madam X Bakery in New York. Gwen turned me onto it and it is where it is at.
Yes, leave us comments about your food or your hot takes and celebrities, and we will now read them on the podcast.
Andy Cohen has been a busy, busy boy because he is hosting the Keeping Up with the Kardashians finale spectacular reunion, and we are getting a lot of good nuggets out of this. We are getting a lot of Jordan Woods info. During part 2 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Andy asked Khloe and Kylie about their relationships with Jordan. And Khloe said she has no, quote, grudge against Jordan. I mean, do you though? She says, I think people make mistakes, people live and they learn. I forgive both parties. Adding that she couldn't forgive Tristan when she is co-parenting with him and was back together with him without forgiving Jordan as well. Kylie, on the other hand, said Jordan and I did have a talk after this when we were friends, and I never thought that we wouldn't be friends. It was kind of an overnight thing, you know? When she did something to my family, I felt like she did something to me. In case you don't remember, Jordan Woods was seen getting more than cozy at a party with Tristan third trimester Thompson. Sound familiar? Yes, it does. And then she confirmed all of these allegations on Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith. And Jordan and Kylie were more than besties. I mean, they were inseparable at all times. She was like a sister to all the girls. And it's rough, but I feel like when Khloe was talking, it was just sort of, I forgave Tristan, so I have to forgive Jordan sort of moment. Sarah, what did you think?
Yeah, my favorite part was how like aggressive Kim got when she was like, listen, Tristan's not going anywhere because True exists. If True didn't exist, we would cut him off too. We cut off Jordan for a reason. And Kylie, you know, hinted that Khloe kept saying, you know, the door's open if Kylie wants to go there. Like, I'm not going to stop her. But Kylie, you know, played it classy and was just like, you know, she did something with my family. I don't want to go there, but they didn't go too deep. I was more fascinated by Khloe's admission she had a nose job.
Oh my God, that's shocking information because her nose changed so much.
But she's denied it for so long. I found Instagram comments from like 2 years ago where she denied having a nose job. And on the reunion, she said no one's ever asked. And you know I love Khloe. A couple minutes ago, I was defending her. But like, you have to be honest about the work you have done. It's not cool to not.
Well, speaking of Gwen, what can you tell us about, well, Khloe's nose and Kylie Jenner's kissable lips?
I just want to talk about Khloe's lips because her lips in these ads she's in on TV, her lips are like 3 times the size of what they were.
Oh yeah.
They're absolutely insane.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
Kylie has said that the reason why she made makeup was because she didn't feel like she had kissable lips. That's Kris Jenner marketing 101. Prey on people's like fears. Listen, that Kylie has put stuff in her lips. She's taken it out. She's put it in. She's taken it out. She's made some decent makeup, whatever. She's completely changed her face. But Khloe is my favorite, you guys.
Me too.
I always loved her the most, but like, why do you want your lips to look like you went 12 rounds in the ring with Rocky? I mean, Jesus, it looks like she either went 12 rounds in the ring with Rocky or she face planted into a beehive.
Yeah, she just found out she was allergic to peanuts.
Way harsh,
Taking a
Ty.
lip of peanut butter. They are, Gwen's right though. What upsets me and Gwen the most is you can blow up your lips, you can get a nose job, you're in Hollywood, we expect you to look amazing, you cave under those pressures, fine. But don't lie about it to other people who are looking at you and say that you've had no work done when you've had everything possible done. It sort of reminds me when Khloe came back from Miami with a butt 4 times the size than she went there with and denied having Dr. Miami do her BBL, her Brazilian butt lift. And when he confirmed it, and then he had to take it down a while ago, and Khloe's like butt was so big, it's just unfair to say that you haven't done it. If you want to play coy and say it's none of your business, that's fine. But to outright say that this is just how the great Lord made me, I hate that.
Well, they've all denied anything's ever happened to their butts, so we'll never know.
Will we though? Okay.
The shape of their bodies that literally look like Barbie dolls.
I
know,
don't
during
what
that
Barbies
reunion-
you had growing up, but my Barbie wasn't shaped like that.
During that, yeah, Skipper didn't look quite like that on my doll. During the reunion, Andy asked them like about how they feel guilty perpetuating like beauty standards that are unrealistic. And Kim said like, no, we work hard. And I saw a TikTok that was so good because it was like, yeah, you might work out, but you also, have the best trainers, you have access to surgeons, you have access to the best chefs. So like take a little account, like you can be proud of your body and no matter how you got it, like I'm not saying don't be. And there is something to be said for their curves being a little different than, the stick figures that people used to, look up to too.
Yeah.
But I would just say, if I was asked that question and I looked like them, I'd be like, I'm not trying to do that. But at the same time, like everyone should acknowledge, we have access to things that other people don't. And, hopefully, just acknowledge it. I think that goes a long way.
Yeah. Say this body costs $500,000. It could
Allegedly.
be yours. Allegedly. I mean, come on, fine, allegedly, but to a blind person can tell that they've had work done. And before we go into our last segment, we have to bring up one other thing from the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion. The Scott Disick quote that really made my insides churn. He was asked by Andy Cohen why he, only dates teenagers. And Scott Disick said, I don't look for younger girls. They find me because I look so young.
Oof.
Oh.
Scott is just another one where it's like, I don't stand for anything that he stands for. But when I watch this show, I just love him. It's so bad.
It is very strange, Sarah, your obsession with the Lord.
It is. It's not healthy. I might need help. Forget Bronwyn.
Gwen, do you think he's only dating these teenage girls because he looks so young and they just flock to him? I mean, it could be a big part of the reason, but I disagree.
That ain't it. They date him because he was a Kardashian baby daddy, and they know that it's instant fame, period.
Period, Scott. I hope you're listening.